To new viewers, welcome, and to old subscribers, welcome back. Finally, for the first time in ages, we're doing a AD mana tank Kassadin game. This time it's mid versus a Lux, and we do incredibly well, and I'd like to show some of that off. We start off with Corrupting Potion, and now allow me to explain the build. The AD mana tank build uses Muramana and then plenty of mana tanky items like Frozen Heart, Iceborne Gauntlet, and to be honest, the build has aged like fine milk because the much more popular Conqueror Seraphs variant is way better and is played in like Korean stuff and stuff. But there is some merit to this one. For one, it's way cheaper, with Mana Moon being far easier to get than Seraphs. It's not really a benefit, but since you build tier rather than last chapter first, it's quicker to get a tier and then just stack it. And the reason I say that's not really an advantage is because you could easily just go tier first on Seraphs as well, but you usually don't because that's a slower Seraphs for you. In any case, Mana Moon's AD sustained damage is going to show quite a bit of use in this game. I remember because I played it yesterday, I think. There's plenty of moments where the sustained damage in auto attacks actually works out well. So for runes we have Grasp of the Undying. That's because I was going to go against Aatrox, and also I just wanted to try this build out. It's been a long time. I take a lot of damage from this Lux, and the reason for that is, oh, honestly, I hate that skin. You can even see it in the chat. I couldn't tell what her E was and what her Q was. My friend suggested that I go to colorblind mode, and I did, and it actually benefited a lot. So I'll have to remember to turn that off next time I play. But for maybe from here on in this game, I turn into a. Okay, I just cut chat out and went a bit silent when I did so. So hopefully that's cut out. If it isn't, flame me in the comments. From here on out, it's colorblind mode on, and I'm going to take a few less skill shots. But in any case, it doesn't matter because we have our Corrupting Potion. And we have our Q for farming, which will also stack our tier once we get it. For runes, I am looking at them and I don't like them. I don't think I managed to finish my rune page, to be honest with you. But we've got Grasp of the Undying, that's okay. Shield Bash, that is... that's actually kind of okay, it works on your Q. Bone Plating, pretty standard. Although I could use extra armor and magic resist instead. And Overgrowth. Overgrowth, I think, is not really a good rune. It just doesn't give you very much value, but hopefully it will give us some value as we build so many resistances in this game, so it does make some sense. We also have Ravenous Hunter, which is going to benefit from our on-his effects like Mana Moon, which doesn't sound that bad, and to be honest it is actually pretty good. It also heals off our ultimate. Quite a lot of people, I think, quite like this rune on Kassadin. I used to take Relentless instead, which might seem weird because you have enough move speed already, but having enough move speed to get in range of a Riftwalk is very important as well. I would possibly, if I knew I was up against a ranged champion, go for Time Warp Tonic on the secondary. And I probably wouldn't take Grasp against Lux, but you'll see that, especially at 6, we can get some trades off. The idea was I'd be able to like W onto Aatrox to get to get some sustain. Let's just pretend that didn't happen there. So, yeah, Grasp of the Undying. It's like, so the Conqueror build is where you get Lifesteal or Omnivamp at 10 stacks, which you get after a while of fighting. It has to be with champions though. The other end is like Electrocute. No, it's not Electrocute, sorry. Fleet Footwork, which is just you get healing when you also attack something. I just missed a minion. You get healing when you also attack something, or that'd be a minion or a champion, which is great for sustain and move speed. It doesn't have much offensive use later on, but at least you get some move speed to once again get in range for those, and both of those are currently the gold standards for Kassadin's, Conqueror being for the tank build and Fleet Footwork being everything else to survive lane phase. Grasp of the Undying is a bit of both, unfortunately not as amazing against ranged champions. Lux does indeed waste her Q on a flash play, which was an absolute death sentence. Not gonna lie, this Lux wasn't the best, but this Fiddle, however, is fair. And we have a bit of a panic here, having to ult away from Fiddle's E and then flash away from the center ult that followed. But we were able to stack a bit of our tier, and we also we bought Boots last time, and now we're going to go for Sheen. Now we know that Lux is an idiot. The Sheen is going to give us plenty of damage on these small trades where we go in. Electrocute wouldn't have been bad either, but being able to use Grasp is going to give us a bit more health and be a bit more safe when we go in for trades like this. Now with Fiddle, it's very good idea to stop any of his channels with Q. I do kind of go in on a Aatrox here with the confidence of my thing, and I try to outplay his Q, but he does delay it, and Nocturne will go in And then Nocturne's Death will give Aatrox quite a lot of health and a reset, so I just get the heck out of there. No need to die with him. You know, you get things happen. Things do happen. With Lux staying top, I decided to push mid. And at this point, I wish I had Demolish, but it's fine. The Shield Bash does help us against... Oh, somewhat against someone like Lux. And probably did quite a bit of work against Aatrox there as well. And overall, any kind of boosts into MR... Is it percentage? Let's see. There he is. Oh no, you just gain 5 bonus armor and magic resist. Okay, yeah, it's flat. Right. I'll probably update this rune page after this game, but regardless, we did quite well. We've now got our Merc Treads, which is just for move speed, magic resist, and to not get caught in Lux Qs, which is probably going to happen. Also helps against the Senna and the Fiddle Fear. Lux has a lot of room, so we decided to push. We can afford to just either wave, ult the wave, do all that, because what can Lux do? At max range, her Qs are simply not going to hit, with or without Riftwalk, now that we have tier 2 boots. And if they do hit, they don't mean much. I kind of meme here by... you might see I went over the wall to dance at the Lux a bit, in which she did full combo. After she did full combo, I wasn't having any of it, so I will also wait for now. I'll defend against the Rift Herald for now. Take it out while Nocturne goes in on them. Fortunately, Nocturne will take a full Fiddle combo and ult. This does kill Lux, which was going to be my job, but after this recall, we'll be able to go ahead and do that. Instead of Glacial Shroud, which you saw me buy for a brief moment before Undoing, we get Pickaxe. Pickaxe is going to go into Mana Moon. Pickaxe also gives a bit more damage on autos, which is not totally stupid early because you have Auto W also, as not a bad trade. And also you're going to see some sustained auto attack damage as well. Kind of like here. Oh, no, we get Fiddle Feared. And then that's what I meant. Riftwalk Flash is the combo, so you press R, then Flash. This does move the Riftwalk damage as well, even though it might not look like it, so you will still hit them with the full R damage. We had Riftwalk up to 4, you can see in the bottom left, which means we did a lot of damage. I'm not really talking about that much anymore because it's been a while since I played Kassadin, and even longer since I did a video for Kassadin, so possibly. Kind of hard for me to get in the mindset, but yes, we charged up our Riftwalk. That's so we could deal plenty of damage to Lux, and with that in mind, and knowing that she had walked up for, what, CS or something, we could flash in and get the kill on her basically instantly. Also, for summoner spells, we have Teleport, which is supposed to help us get into lane, but I don't think I've used it in this entire game, which was a bit silly of me. With Fiddle running away, thought he was going to bomb plant over, but he didn't. Lux does a full combo, which ends up being quite pathetic. Even with Ignite, I do not die. Ravenous Hunter definitely coming in clutch, and the Mercury Treads magic resist as well. Bit of the Pickaxe AD damage definitely also helped as well. Time Walk Tonic would have come in as handy there as well for that quick sudden heal. We've now got our Iceborne, which is going to help us deal with AD champions like this Aatrox we're about to gank. Unfortunately, we can't do much, so we just Mastery Mode, dance, and walk away. So, the current, from my knowledge, as if I remember correctly, the Seraphs Conqueror build that's going around goes straight Frozen Heart after Seraphs, I believe. We go Iceborne Gauntlet for the Sheen damage, which is going to help. You know, the Sheen helped us burst trade around this point in the laning phase. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do that because the enemy will simply laugh at you and slap you back to the Shadow Realm, but in this case, it's totally fine. The Iceborne is also going to give us a bit more utility, which we might lack in until we get Muramana. We will do some damage with the autos, but that doesn't really come into play till Muramana. I haven't explained Muramana yet, so if anyone's new here, Muramana will proc on your auto. It will proc twice on W, since it's both an auto and a spell, and it will apply on Q as well. The mana you get is also great, so you get more from Seraphs. And you also get more mana cost reduction from Seraphs as well. So for general rift walking, it's way better to take Seraphs. However, you will get pretty nice auto attack damage and pretty reasonable burst when you're using Muramana. Muramana also opens up the possibility of buying Titanic Hydra, which we do in this game, and we do get a little bit of use out of it, as we do start split pushing with Tiamat as well. And I am really a big fan of this game because everything I showed in those Kassadin guides before Even though I haven't played him in a while, it's still a playing here and does help me win. We are 4-0-2 and we're up against not the best Lux in the world, but we are also up against a 9-2 Fiddlesticks, who again might not be the best in the world, but who the heck cares? I'm playing AD Kassadin. Just appreciate that I'm not feeding, right? I mean, long-time subscribers might not expect that. A lot of the early game is still farming, and we have to keep relatively safe, even if we Riftwalk to wave clear. Here we Riftwalk onto the turret and just break it, forcing Lux to flash away. But we want to save Riftwalk, or at least have it on decent cooldown so we can win fights. We're going to Q, which was a bit mistimed because he was able to get a full drain. Either way, drain isn't now on cooldown since it did not kill the crab. Out of desperation, he goes for ult. He's then going to also go into, I believe I got feared, I think, or did I walk away, I don't know, into his drain again, but our Q, no, we didn't have Q, we just beat the crap out of him, and we just happen to deal way more damage than he can heal or put out, and since Fiddle's rework, I don't think he can actually drain that much on the 1v1. Muramana was almost achieved, now it is fully achieved, plus we have double buffs, so I can stay in lane, and I think we're about to kill Lux. Big damage, the double proc and grasp. Riftwalk's damage scaling with mana amazingly, and now we see the multiple auto attacks of Doom. You might argue that if I had AP, she'd be dead already, but if I had AP, I probably wouldn't have as many items as I do, at least, and perhaps wouldn't have Seraphs yet, though you usually do because it charges quite fast. That said, I would not have as many items. In terms of gold, you save around 1,000 if you don't go for Seraphs. I don't know the number because I'm stupid. It's like 2,400 versus like 3,000. Okay, that's more like 600, but hey, you get my point. It's also got a really nice build path in just tier and pickaxe. Maybe pickaxe, you don't see it as a nice build, but if you're able to get some use out of it, it's not that bad. And of course, you don't have to build it till way later, and in that time you can buy your Frozen Heart, your Rod of Ages if you're quite ballsy and want to go for the late game. Although in that case you could also go Seraphs. Seraphs Rod of Ages is like the supreme late game if you don't win the game after 40 minutes. After getting to 40 minutes then maybe Kassadin's not for you. But yeah, now we've got our Abyssal Mask, which is going to give us more magic resist against the Lux, but of course more importantly against the Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks now has his Zonias, so being able to tank his ultimate and dance in it is much more important than dodging out of it, of course. That was sarcasm. But definitely going to help us in the long run. We've now got plenty of resistances, not much health. That's where Overgrowth's coming in. Overgrowth is currently giving us 175 health. That's just over a ruby crystal. Maybe not too impressive, but hey, we've also got another mana crystal that can go into. What do I build that into? Actually, I'm not sure. I don't think I buy Righteous Glory this game. What do I buy? I think I sell it actually. Frozen Heart, of course, Frozen Heart. So. Speaking of Frozen Heart, our CDR is now at 30 and we want it to be at 40%. We're already at level 16. This is a very early level 16. This is not normal. Just going to take a blue buff from over here. We want to get 40% CDR for more Riftwalks. Also, our bot lane really hate us. You can see they're 0503. They hate both the jungler and me. So Janna tried to take blue buff and Jinx did take Grump. But hey, it is what it is. Since we're decked out on magic resistance, some pressure was made on Aatrox and he lost the lane. But the enemy, Jhin, is quite big and a lot of people kept saying he was doing a lot of damage during this game. Like I said, we have to dance on the Fiddlesticks, but then we will take a fear. But of course, that's not going to stop me from getting the kill. See how we still do plenty of damage with 0 AP? It's fucking great, isn't it? However, we are definitely in over our heads. We might burst her to death, but with the whole team literal 1v5, we're not going to be doing very much and I try to get out. W cooldown, however, is a thing, and we can't just rift fart all our way out. This has given opportune time for Janna to check what exactly is in these bushes. A mystery finally uncovered. Whilst Teemo gets a tower and Jinx, I guess, farms. Nocturne's there too. Now, let's get back to the fun bit, which means when Kassadin is alive. There we go. So, going into Frozen Heart, that's going to give us so much armor. So all this damage that everyone keeps saying Jhin has, not Jinx, certainly not Jinx, will mean absolutely nothing to me. Like here, since we had Flash, we can go straight in on Jhin, which is going to give Nocturne that sweet, sweet 1 HP Jhin that his ult now might actually kill. I'm joking, of course. And then, of course, we just kind of mana fart over everyone else, so everyone else can take the kills. Also, they take Dragon. We're able to go after Fiddlesticks and make sure he doesn't hurt or steal any dragons ever again. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot and Riftwalked like an idiot. That's one more use of the word than I wanted. That's fine. We're also just going to be able to get away from Aatrox. We have no mana right now, waiting for the cooldown. You can see in the bottom left, it's finally off. Now we can Riftwalk again. There we go. Now, Frozen Heart's been achieved. We're definitely at 40% CDR. An important rune to have is Transcendence. I don't have it. That's because I'm terrible at the game. With this build anyway, because you tend to overcap on CDR, and that can turn into bonus AD. Maybe a bit more important on the AP build, because AP does scale better. AD is simply auto attacks on Kassadin. There's no AD ratios. And you mainly buy Muramana. Yes, the AD is great, but for the on-hit effect mostly. There's no debate, by the way, which one's better. Seraphs is better. It's just more expensive. And there is maybe a world where I lose this game because I take Seraphs, because it took me too long to get the ball rolling. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell what's going to happen until it's already happened. But all I know is that even towards late game, I didn't fall off to the point where I couldn't win the game. And I do several kind of 1v enemy team plays, which is possible because I'm ridiculous tanky. I am, of course, ridiculous fed. But yeah, not trying to prove a point here, not trying to say Seraphs is bad, not trying to say it's better than Seraphs, it definitely isn't. But there's a lot of fun to be had with this build. We go straight on to Jhin, and this is going to get this slow on him, which doesn't actually do anything, and Nocturne's going to kill him without much intervention from me. Give Aatrox a little slap to show him that he's not that scary, in which case he immediately runs away. And once again, looking for something that we can stick our W into. Blue got stolen by Fiddlesticks, so now I really want to get that blue back. And so we shall. We now go for the Tiamat. Controversial item if Muramana already wasn't. And this is going to allow us to split push a little bit better. Since our AD isn't that high, but we do have AD from Muramana. We currently have 264. Tiamat does actually have fair splash damage, especially with Ice-One Gauntlet, which is going to help as well. And what this does, it saves us mana, or, well, what I just did is going against what I said, but it saves us Riftwalks, so we do not have to have it stacked when we're split pushing. This means that if you've done like one Riftwalk, your subsequent Riftwalks are going to cost way less mana than if you had done 4 Riftwalks. Now it costs like 800, not factoring in the tier reduction. But what this means is, now that you're not spamming Riftwalk all the time, you get more mana for escapes or for faster wave clear, which is not usually what you're going to go with this idea that you can hear. Anyway, Jhin makes a mistake. He attacked me. That was his mistake. Plenty of auto attack damage going on here, which keeps our damage consistent, unlike an AP Lichbane Seraphs build, which would probably end him in one go, but we're able to take multiple fights on just like that. Very nice. Obviously Seraphs could win it as well, but maybe a little less smooth, more like several one-shots. In case anyone's wondering, I haven't played this in ranked on the current season, but I do. I'm confident enough in this build to use it in ranked. It's very fun. We've now picked up the Titanic Hydra. There's an entire video about buying Titanic Hydra that I've made. It didn't get many views because honestly, oh whatever. But it's a fun video and I hope you'd enjoy it. There's also a bunch of memes in there, so maybe you'll enjoy that too. Speaking of which, there's two. I'd say fair production value Kassadin builds. Well, at the time I made them, I'd call that high production value, but I think I'm getting better as time goes on. But yeah, please check them out. They're going to be in the top right, and they're going... I don't know when they're going to be at the top right, but they're going to be in the top right, and they're going to be in the description as well. Now, what does Titanic Hydra do? Summarized, it gives you a auto attack reset. It also scales off your health, which we have some of, in the form of Abyssal Mask. That's not important. The important part is that you can go get another reset and get another mana proc. This means that you can go auto, W, which is a 1 reset, Titanic, another reset, that's 4 procs already, Q for 5 mana procs. That's going to do a lot of Muramana damage. And of course, the wave clear and stuff is great too. Actually, now that I think about it, the video is kind of dumb, but who cares about Titanic Hydra? The way it compares damage, but the amount of burst that you can get with a Muramana and Titanic Hydra is actually quite fair compared to the amount you can get with Seraphs, although that is in one rotation. It's the second Riftwalk, because in a DPS test I don't do a second Riftwalk, or third Riftwalk, I can't remember. Would tip it incredibly in Seraph's favour. As you can see, the wave clear is nothing to scoff at, and having Titanic does help you in that regard. You can Riftwalk your way to this, but by saving not only mana but stacks on stacks of Riftwalk by using alternate wave clear methods like Tiamat and Titanic Hydra does give us so much freedom in movement when it comes to escaping or being aggressive like we're going to do on this center right here. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. She's dead. 0 AP by the way. Okay, 61 AP. I think that's from Baron. We don't have a single AP item, I don't believe. No, we do not. Thank you, Baron, for 60 AP. Oh, it's gone. Now we have 0 AP. Wait for that blue buff, because that's going to give us plenty of not only utility and Riftwalk ammo, fuel, it's also going to give us some nice ammunition for our mana, because their damage scales with the current mana that you have. Also, crazy thing with the fiddle there was that his ward did a fake ultimate, and then the real fiddle did an ultimate. It was kind of trippy for me. In any case, we're just kind of riftwalking about the map, split pushing waves where we can, and taking out people that decide to move away from their nexus. Lux here is also very killable, but their entire enemy team is here. I do go balls deep, and this is not enough. I also focus the Senna, who is tankier than I thought, and we're not able to get the Q to kill Jhin now. Would AP have done it? Yeah, if I didn't go straight onto Senna, though I shouldn't have it in the first place. So yeah, that's a bad decision. That was a ballsy decision of a 13-1 Kassadin, seeing the extent of his powers. With all the lanes pushed in like that, and the enemy's dead, we can get an easy dragon. Before we finally go for that victory royale, pushing the mid lane. Into Baron. Okay, we've sold our boots for Dead Man's Plate. That's going to give us another burst of damage, about 200 damage I believe, or was it 100? I can't remember what this item does anymore. Max stacks, okay, yeah, it's 100 damage, 100 magic damage on top of our burst. Also gives move speed that makes up for the lack of boots, and we're simply relying on Riftwalks to make sure that we don't get things like Lux Q. Fiddle Fear is fine because we're tanky enough to live through the full 3 seconds anyway, in most situations, and we simply don't place ourselves in situations where it can be worse. I don't know if Fiddle 6 Fear is 3 seconds anymore. I don't think it is actually. Maybe it never was. In any case, we Rift Stomp all over them and secure the win with a 14-9 KDA, doing plenty of split pushing, having 0 AP. Okay, we got 80 from Baron again, but it's a lot of fun. And if you want to try an alternate casting build, give this one a try. It's very fun to do. It's different. It's very different to AP. Usually when I switch between the builds, I get absolute like whiplash from the difference in like Riftwalk damage I'll get on AP, and even playing AP, sometimes I feel like I'm missing something when I don't have the Muramana. That sounds ridiculous. I know people are like cringing from me saying that, but the people that would cringe have already left the video, so yeah, great. I hope you enjoyed watching. I know that there was supposed to be a third casting guide. There was supposed to be a series of 3. If you're interested in more casting videos, just leave a comment below and like the video, that's so I know. Because I'm trying to keep it consistent with fresh stuff, because he is the true one-trick pony. Or I'm supposed to be his one-trick pony anyway. And of course that's also what most people on this channel want. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more Kass stuff. And thank you very much for watching. If you're new here, once again, there's plenty of Kass videos I've done in the past. And they're definitely, hopefully, anyway, fun to look at. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.